Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura from iamthediva.com, and today I am working on my challenge tile for my weekly zentangle challenge, which is to use the tangle Ramana, which was created by a certified zentangle teacher by the name of Nadine Roller. So I've begun my tile here by drawing my dots in my border. And now for the month of February, I've decided to make all of my challenge tiles using a heart string. So here's my little heart. I'm just gonna speed the playback up to about 3 times my working speed, just for the sake of length. It does take me about half an hour or more to complete a zentangle tile, so this makes it a little bit more manageable. So here I'm using a red micron pigment pen in a 0.5 nib size, and I'm just outlining my heartstring with some red orbs. Very Valentine-y. You may notice here that I've left a couple of spaces in my orbs, which was a strategic move on my part because I'm about to use that space to draw my first Ramana tangle inside of. So Nadine says on her blog that she was trying to work out the tangle Rixty and came across a new and interesting tangle in the exploration of Rixty and trying to figure that tangle out. And so she's come up with this one, and it's called Ramana in honor of Rick and Maria. So R-I for Rick, M-A for Maria, and N-A for Nadine. I really enjoyed this tangle because of the free-flowing organic way that it's drawn. There's pretty much no wrong way to do it. You just go wherever you want, which leads to some fun, flowy feel. The key would be to just make sure that you're drawing behind when you are overlapping. I often find in tangles like this that knowing when to stop is kind of a tricky line to balance on. What I'm doing here is I'm adding a little bit of weight to the corners, just sort of filling in where those little corners meet other lines. Just adds a little bit of contrast and makes those little Ramanas kind of pop out of the tile a little bit. Now I'm adding an aura to the orbs, kind of drawing behind anywhere where a Ramana would have gone over top of it. Again, this sort of just helps to separate it from the rest of the tile. Going along on the inside was a little trickier. I always think that, you know, when you can't decide what step to do next, a good place to start is to aura. And now I'm just coloring in these orbs, making them stand out a bit more. And I just do a little shine, and to do that little shine I just draw kind of like a semicircle in a corner. And what I've done here is just made sure that the corner semicircle is in the same sort of place for each orb to give the illusion of light coming from one side. Now I'm just going to add an aura around each of these little mana tangles. And you'll see that I turned my tile quite a bit, and that's because I find it a lot more comfortable and I have better control over my pen when I'm pulling the pen towards me. So when you're creating your zentangle tiles, or any art really, don't be afraid to move your piece around to suit your preferences. Now I'm just going to use this Sakura Jelly Roll pen in Starlight, possibly? I don't know, it's really sparkly. And I'm just going to fill in that area that was left by my original border with some tipple, some little tiny orbs. And it's basically just doing it because it's red and sparkly and pretty, and because anytime you can sort of add a background, it makes all your stuff in the foreground pop. And now we're coming to my favorite part of every time I tangle, and that is the shading. And what I'm using here is a graphite stick. It's Spectrum 8B, so the graphite's really soft and dark, and I'm barely just putting a tiny little smudge of color on each of these little pods, and I'm using my blending stump to sort of push the graphite around and create that nice rich gray shading. Here's a little trick that I use quite often. What I'm doing there is I'm taking a scrap paper and I'm just laying down a whole bunch of graphite, and then I'm using my blending stump to sort of pick up the graphite so that I can really easily get in there and do some detailed shading. So any place where I have a stem going over top of another stem, I'm gonna do a little bit of shading to help that create that feeling of 3D. And now I'm just shading a little bit underneath my orbs to make it stand out again. I just love the shading process. It just takes it to the next level and gives it that whole new dimensional feeling. And that is that. I will sign it and date it. And thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these videos.